Hello everyone. So this is the step to create your database for your system. So first, you must go to your local host. For me, they have a PHP my admin. So in my case, I already created a new database, which is the system project. And inside the system project, I already created also the tables. We have the brands table, customer, inventory, item purchase, the login, products, product categories, and the service rendered, which will be implemented in our system. So first, we have the brand, in which it will store all the brand right here. We already have also the value, the inputted value right here. We have the brand name. We have the category ID, the brand ID, and the date of brand. And also for our customer, right here, we already have the customer ID, the first name, the middle name, the last name, customer address, phone, and the date. So for the structure, we have the customer ID that is already in a primary key, then the first name, varchar, and the customer date would be the text. So it's same. We have the inventory ID for our table for inventory. We have that data already, and then our inventory ID is the primary, and the product ID would be the foreign, which they have a connection with the products table. The products table, as you can see, the product table is the primary, and the brand ID and the category ID are the foreign. So that's uh, that's my database and the tables and connections for my system. Hello everyone. So this is our system now. The title of our project would be the Venus Motorparts Sales and Service Management System. So this is our login form. So as you can see, we have a username and the password. We can show the password. We have the login button, exit button, and then the change password level. So right here, we can type the uh, username and then the password, and we can show the password. And when we click the login, it will go to the home interface for our system. So first, we're gonna change the password. So when we click the change password, it will go to the form for changing the password. So hello everyone. Now we are in our change password. So right here, uh, this is our password, and we change this into this password. And once we click the change password, it will uh, go to the login form, and it will change the password for our system. So right there, right now, we are now at our home interface for our system. So as you can see, we have the menu strip for our products, customers, and then the logout. So right here, we have the theme of our system, the motor parts and service station, that here to fix and to serve, the categories for the tires, for the engine, and for the body, and the uh, title of our system, the motor parts and service station. So then, without further ado, we will go to the products. So this is now our product interface of our system. So we have the product name, the product size, the original price, and the retail price. And in the date of product, the save, the update, and the delete button, and also the refresh button to refresh the interface of our product. So as you can see here, we have already the data because I already inputted earlier the data of our product. So we have the product name, the chain, the side mirror, the castor oil, and the size of each product, the original price, the retail price, and the date of the product that has been recorded. And then we can also search it by ID. So we already searched 2, we also search 3, 1, right there. So this is the interface of our product. In this interface, this is the brand interface for our system. The brand interface is the subcategory of the products which includes the category and the inventory. So right now we focus on the brand interface. We have the brand name, the date of the brand, the save, update, delete, and the refresh button for our brand interface. And right here we have also the data in which we have the brand name, the Honda, the Rossi, Mio, and the Yamaha, the Suzuki, and Skygo, which are the entry for our brand name. And we have also, we can search it by the ID right here, and the date in which the brand has been recorded. In this interface, this is our category interface. So right here, we have the category name. We will gonna input the category name for our product, the date of category in which the date has been recorded. We have the save, update, delete, and the refresh button. So right here, I already inputted also earlier the data. So we have the category name for the single foot stand, the signal light, side mirror, body cover, sitting cover, handle cover, hand guard protector, front and back fender mud guarder, foot pad pedal, change oil and engine oil, and the chain, and the date in which the category has been recorded. And we can also search it by the number and by the ID of each category name. In this interface, this is the brand interface for our system. The brand interface is the subcategory of the products which includes the category and the inventory. So right now we focus on the brand interface. We have the brand name, the date of the brand, the save, update, delete, and the refresh button for our brand interface. And right here we have also the data in which we have the brand name, the Honda, the Rossi, Mio, and the Yamaha, the Suzuki, and Skygo, which are the entry for our brand name. And we have also, we can search it by the ID right here, and the date in which the brand has been recorded. So right here in the inventory interface, so we have the product name, the quantity, and the original price, and the date for our inventory form. We have the save, update, delete, and refresh button. So right here in our data grid view, we already inputted the data of the said product for our inventory. We have the ID, we have the name of the product, the quantity of the product in which they are the stock in which the product's been given and it should be sold. So we have the original price of the product and the date in which the product has been recorded. So right here, uh, this is the customer interface. So right there we have the first name of the customer, the middle name, last name, contact number, and the address and the date of the customer in which have the interaction with our system. So we have the save, update, delete, and the refresh button. So as you can see here, I already put in the data. So I have at least 7 ID for our customer: the first name, the middle name, the last name, the customer address, the number, and then the date of the transaction between the customer and the uh, owner of this system. So, and then the owner of the shop. So this is the interface of for our customer uh, form. Right here, this is the keyframe for our system, in which this is where the interaction and the process for the releasing of the output through the receipt. Right here, this is the rich text box. You can save, you can print, cut, open, and then new. So first, we have the combo box for our product name right here, in which we will gonna discuss it later for our code, and then the original and the retail price, in which it was also at the product form. So the brand will be at the brand form, the category would be at the category form, and we have the product name, product quantity, and the available quantity, in which the product quantity and the available quantity will be derived for our inventory form. And in the cash, the total amount and the cash change would be the calculation of our system. We have the save, update, delete, and refresh button for our system. So we have already the data that has already been given, already been inputted. So the product name, the product size, original, retail price, the brand name, category name, the quantity, total amount, cash, and cash change, the date in which the customer has been interacted with our system. So this is where the purchasing of item would be much different from the other form. So this is our service rendered form. So this is where the, the system has already been used. So this form is an optional for the customer. So this we have the text box. We have the text box for our service, the professional fee. Yeah. So right here, this is the uh, coding part. This is the code for the login. So we have the connection for our database. We have the name of our database. You have the query for the uh, display. So right here we open a connection. We select from that database, which we have the table. This is the table login. So we execute, then we close the database, and then from the button click. So if the username is equals to string, password is equals to string. So if both are incorrect, it will prompt a message that is have a missing information. If both are incorrect, if both are correct, it will pass into this code. So open a connection in the database. So this query will select from the table login in the database where the username is equal to username text box and password is equal to password text box. Then it will read and it will prompt into the new home interface. So the home interface will show up if both username and password are correct. So if one of them is not correct, it will prompt a message that the account is invalid and it will close the database. When checking up the password, so we use this query only if else statement, and these are only prompt for the label for the wrong password to show up in a visibility mode. And the exit button, it will exit the system. Now this change password link label, so it will go to the change interface. So let's go to change interface. So change interface, just click here, then view code. Right here, this is the code for our change interface, so we can change the password of our system. So we have the connection for our database, the name of our database. So this is the uh, connection. We open the connection, we select from the database, so we execute and then we close the database. So this is the change password button. So we open the connection and then we update the password. So to confirm the password, where the password is the old password. So when you execute, close the database, and if the password is correct and already updated, it will prompt a message that the password has been updated, and it will go to the login interface. In the login button will just prompt into the login interface. So that's the only code for changing the uh, password for our system. And then we will go to the uh, login. Once the username and password is correct and the password has been updated, just click login and it will prompt into the home interface. And from the home interface, this is the part. So let's view the code. So this is only the code for the home interface, which it will only prompt the interface of the other form in our system: the home, the product interface, the customer interface, and the logout interface. Then next we will go to the product interface. This is the product interface as we show up earlier. And then let's view the code. So this is the code. We open the connection. This is our database name, and this is the uh, query for our display the product from the uh, data grid view. So we just open the connection and then we select the product ID, the product name, size, original, retail, date updated from the table products from our database. Then we execute, then we close the connection, and then we deliver it into the data grid view. and then we have a query to clear the uh, text box, and we have the auto incrementation. This is to increment the ID. So right here, this is the query. We open a connection and we select from the table products the product ID. So right here, this is the ID to increment. And then in this query, we just go to the event for the data grid view. This is the name of our data grid view. We already named that one. And then double click for the event, go to the event, then double click, self click, then uh, input all the value, and then assign it into its cell. Then from the product load, this is the form load of our main uh, interface of our product. Double click and just type the incrementation to operate the increment ID. This is the save button. Click. So this is the save button right here. So we just make sure that all the value must have a data. So if one of the value doesn't have any data, it will prompt a message that is have a missing information. So if both of the value have a data, it will go to the connection, it will open a connection, and it will insert into the table for the products so that it will be saved into the database, and it will execute, close, and it will prompt a message that a product has been added. So right here from the update button, so it will open a connection. This is the query for update. So update from the table products, set the product name and the other value. It will execute and close, and it will prompt that the product has been updated. So the auto incrementation, clear query, and the message box that the product has been updated, and the delete button. In this query, it will delete the uh, data in our system. So we open a connection. This is the query for delete. So delete from table of our database the products, where the product name we only specify as one stanza for our deletion in our data. So we execute, we close the connection, and it will prompt a message that the product has been deleted. So this is the code for our search. This is the query. We only just select from the table, and we only specify the product ID, the value to find, and it will prompt into the data grid view. So we just call the query into the search text box, and this is the uh, prompt to the other interface: home interface, brand interface, product, inventory, customer, purchase, service, and then the login interface. And this is the query for the refresh button. So that is the connection, the code for the product. Now let's go to the brand. Now right here, this is the coding for our brand. We just open up connection. This is the name of our database. This is the information for our ID, which we have two IDs. This is the query. We just select from the brand ID or the table brands, and this is to display the data in our data grid view. Just select the value from the table brands. and display it in our data grid view. The clear query, the save button query. So right here, you just open a connection, just insert from the table brands the data right here and its value, and you just execute and close the connection. It will prompt a message that the brand has been added. Same as the update, just open a connection, just a query to update from brands, table brands, value, and its data. Execute, close the connection to our database, and will prompt the brand has been updated. And this is the query for our delete button. So to delete, just open the connection, and then this is the query to delete from brands, where just specify one instance and then its value, then execute, close, and will prompt the message that the brand has been deleted. This is the form load for our information ID. For the data grid view, click event. For the search query, just put the query right here at the text box, search text box, and the other interfaces to show the query for the refresh button right here. Now let's go to category. So let's go to our category. So this one, this is the interface for our category. Now let's view the code. So this is the code for our category. We open a connection. You have the name of the database. You have the incrementation, and to display the data in our data grid view, just select from the table product categories and display it in our data grid view. This is the name of our data grid view. You have the clear query, the save button, just open a connection, and then query to insert into our table product categories the value and its data. We execute, close the connection database, and it will prompt a message that the category has been added, as well as the update button, connection, query to update, table, value, and its data. Execute, close the connection, prompt category updated, delete button, connection, query to delete from the table product categories, where specify as one instance the category name, execute, close, category deleted. So form load, this one, click event, this one, search query, this one, and just put it in the search text box, the search query stanza for the other interface right here, and the query to refresh the button. Refresh button, this is the query, just the connection, and select from the table from our database. So this is the code for our category. And then let's go to the inventory. So this is the interface for our inventory right here. So view code, and then next, this is the connection. This is the name of our database. Just to display the data in our data grid view. we just select a specified uh, data to be viewed from our table inventory in our database system project, and we will gonna view it in data grid view, then the clear query right here, and then the incrementation query, say button query, the update button query, and then the delete button query for our inventory interface. Then the inventory data grid view cell click event query, implementation in our form load, the search query, and the other uh, um, connection to the different form, this one, and then in the refresh button query. So it has the same coding for the other part. So it is the same process from the save, update, and delete, and its refresh button and its other connection. So this is the code part for the inventory interface. Now let's go to the customer interface. So this is the code for our, this is the interface for our customer. So let's view the code right here, the connection, the name of the database, to display the query to display the data from the table customer, close the connection, the customer data grid view, the clear query, the incrementation query, the save button query. They are just the same query, just insert into the update table, the value, the data, execute, close, prompt a message that the customer has been added. Update button, it will prompt a message the customer has been updated by this query. Update customer, this is the table name customer. Delete query, this is the query delete from table customer, and then prompt that the customer has been deleted. Then the data grid view, the cell click event, form load, just put the implementation, then the search query, and then put the search query in a search text box, and then the connection to the other interface, and then the refresh button to refresh the interface. And then next part is the purchase, which we have right here. So this is the purchase interface. This is the connection between the uh, owner and the customer. So let's view the code. So right here we have the connection in our database, the name of our database, system project, and then we have the query to display. So right here we only display the number, transaction number, name, product, size, original from the table item purchased in our database, and then the query to clear the text box and the combo box, and then the incrementation ID right here, the save button query. I already also put the uh, query right here for the receipt right here, and this is the query for connection in our database. And then to insert into the table right here, and then execute, close, and will prompt a message that the purchase has been added, as well as the update button. So this is the code. Update from the table item purchase, just set the value and its data, execute, and close. It will prompt a message that the purchase has been updated, as well as the delete. Open a connection, and then the query delete from item purchase where specified stanza the value, execute, close, and then it will prompt a message that the item has been deleted. Search query. The search query, just put in the search text box. Then this is the query for our combo box that it will gonna call from the other form into this form right here. This one, this combo box, this one, this one, this one, and this one. The value of this combo box, we will gonna get this into the form of the product right here. So whatever put right here, when we run this our system, so it will be inserted right here, these four, and these two, we're gonna get this the brand name into the brand interface, and then the category, we're gonna get this at the category interface. So let's go back to the purchase interface right here. I'm gonna uh, fill the missing. So this is the query for the uh, product of our right here. This one, this is the query for that one, and then the other thing, this is the price query, and then the category query. So right here in our form load, as you can see, this is the query for the product. So the name and the size of the combo box from the product query right here. So as well as this price and the category and the brand query. So just double click the combo box of the product size, this one, just double click this one. We're gonna go right here, this is the query. So just select ID, brand ID, name from the table products from right here, this interface in this table, as well as the price. As you can see, we have the table products also from here, but we only specify the price, not like the other one we specify the name, which right here, and then the other one right here and here. So this one original price. For the category, we have a different table, the brands. So right here, you specify the brand name and ID. So that is how we get the other data from the other interface into the other form, other interface also. So this is the code for the uh, data grid view. Just event and double click the cell click, and this is the query, the other interfaces, the saving for our receipt, this one, then the refresh query, refresh button, query, and this one is the calculation we're gonna get there, and then this is the uh, connection earlier for our combo box. So right here, this is the calculation of the current value minus the quantity in our inventory. So right here, we minus the quantity to the current value, so the inventory will be deducted. So it has a connection in our inventory, as well as the cash change. So the change, the cash minus the amount, so it will directly put it into the cash change. This is the query. So that is the coding part for our item purchase interface. Now we'll go to the service interface. So right here, this is our service interface. As you can see, we also have the receipt design, the data grid view, and in the search text box. So let's view the code. Right here, we have the connection. We have the name of our database, the incrementation query, and the display query, where we display the data into the data grid view right here. So the clear query for to clear the text box, the save button query, the receipt query, and in the save query. So we open the connection and insert into the name of the table, the value, and the data, execute, close the data, and will prompt a message that service has been added. The update button, so open the connection, update from the service table, then the value and then the data, execute, close the data, close the connection then it will prompt a message that the service has been updated, as well as the delete button. So delete connection, delete query, delete from the service, specified one stanza to delete, then close, execute, prompt that the service has been deleted, the calculation for the total button, just minus the cash and then the amount, then put at the cash change text box, incrementation, put it at the form load, then the query to the data grid view right here, a query for our search right here, this one, the connection to the other interfaces right here, and then the query for the receipt to save, to print, to open, and this is the connection to the refresh button. This is the query. Just open the connection, then select from the table service rendered and display it at the data grid view. So this is our last code for our system, the service rendered. So now we'll try to uh, end our system. So that's all, and thank you and goodbye.